Dun, da, da, da. We're back.
We are back.
We're back. We're live. We're recording. We're vibing. Welcome to Fill in the Blanks.
With a better camera.
With a much better camera.
That we actually already had. And I did not know I could use it this way.
Yeah. Well, we're learning. It's only our second episode of Fill in the Blanks with Dru. That's you.
That is me.
And Jess. That's me. This is our second episode. And our first episode, P.S. real quick, is now available on Spotify, as will this one be. This one will be also.
And YouTube.
And YouTube, yes. So our first episode, for all of you that tuned in, thank you. It was amazing, like, for our first YouTube video, especially because it was just available on YouTube to begin with. So the show up and listeners were amazing. And we appreciate all the responses, and we hope that it did help some people. And this one and episodes moving forward won't hopefully be as traumatic, because the first one did come with a trigger warning. There is no trigger warning for this one. This second episode is more it's
More fun.
more fun,
Yeah.
and really
A little more light.
which is funny. What's funny is we were talking yesterday about the episode and what we were gonna do and like whatever, and we talked about like how we got married in a micro wrestling ring and how like I've done TV shows and with Hulk, and we were like, wow, wrestling, professional wrestling is very much a part of our story.
Well, yeah, so people probably don't know the TV show that you were a part of, the two that you were a part of, but maybe let's start with the first one and the timeline of all of that and how wrestling was kind of a part of your life in a different way than it was for me.
Yeah, it was funny. Well, for those, if you don't have the video in front of you or you don't know who I am a little person. I have dwarfism, achondroplasia, the most common type of dwarfism. And my height has caused me some trauma, but it's also gotten me a lot of fun experiences in life. And probably one of the first ones, actually, I think it literally was the first one and completely changed the trajectory of my life, was back in 2000. I think it aired in 2012. But I was a part of Hulk Hogan's, R.I.P., Hulk Hogan's Micro Championship Wrestling on TruTV. It was literally after, what was that towing show? Was it like Lizard Lick?
Lizard Lick Towing.
Lizard Lick Towing. I'm pretty sure that's like what TruTV is made up of, is towing shows. But it aired right after. Yeah, it aired right after that. I think on Tuesdays, actually, maybe, or Thursdays. Anyway, so I was a part of Hulk Hogan's Micro Championship Wrestling on TruTV. It was only one season, but it was a great season. And I was found by the network, the company Micro Championship Wrestling, which was created and started by Johnny Green, R.I.P. to him also. Goodness gracious, there's so many RIPs to wrestlers. But he started it, and then he used to wrestle for WCW as Johnny Attitude, and then him and Hogan teamed up to create the TV show, and then they needed another chick, and the universe be universing, and Demo, one of the probably I guess partner with Johnny, he happened to come into my bar one night while I was working for an event and saw me. And the next day, my coworker was like, "Did you see that little person that was there last night?" I was like, "Yeah, obviously." She's like, "He wants to know if you want to do a reality show." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, wrestling, micro wrestling." I was like, no. And I actually did not call him back, and then a couple weeks went by, and then the network reached out, and then I ended up flying out to Panama City, and becoming a micro wrestler, which never then did I think I would say that. And even now it is still crazy to say. So yeah, turned out God had a different plan for me as well as Hulk Hogan. And then I spent 2 years working as Johnny's like right-hand man or woman and touring and working with legends that I did not know were legends. Because the funny thing is a big part of this podcast is, I think we talked about in the first episode, is Dru's knowledge, because he knows so much and he remembers everything and I remember nothing. But his knowledge of wrestling is very extensive. There you go. And mine then was non-existent whatsoever. So, and even now, I'm still like, I wouldn't call myself.
To the point, she did not know who Ric Flair was, and I think you probably at least knew who Hulk Hogan was, but had no idea of anything in his career or his like actual.
No, I literally knew Hogan. When they asked me, they were like, "Do you want to do a show with Hulk Hogan?" I'm like, "From Hogan Knows Best? Fuck yeah. I do." That's actually no, I said no at first, but then yeah, I was like, "But that's how I knew Hulk." I mean, obviously, I fucking knew who he was. Like, he's literally he was at one point, I know for many years, the most recognizable face on the planet. So obviously, I knew who he was, but I, unfortunately, or whatever you want to say, did not have a clue of the opportunity that was given to me. And because it wasn't just Hogan, I was also trained by Pat Tanaka from the Orient Express. Brian Knobs from the Nasty Boys was a part of it. And that was just the TV show. But then after the show, the guys had been traveling and doing it for years, but then after the show, I joined them. And then that was when I started doing shows with, like, Ric Flair, who, again, I did not know.
No, you literally were, I don't know, you were in a hallway?
Yeah, so I was in charge of, like, the bookings and the plane tickets and, like, getting the celebrities there and stuff, and I created these gift baskets and was adorable, and I made one for Ric Flair, but I didn't know who he was. And Johnny, my boss at the time, was like joking, but he was like, just look for a tall, drunk white dude yelling, "Whoo!" And literally, I was like, okay. And then literally, I was walking down the hallway and I heard, "Whoo!" I got closer, and there he was, a tall, drunk white dude. And then, yeah, the rest was history with that. But it was crazy.
Ric Flair can drink.
He can. And yeah, it was amazing though. And then that show, I think we had like Coco Beware. We had the Reinhardt. Am I saying that right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. See, this is where I'm gonna embarrass myself. But yeah, there was quite a few legends, and Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart is probably my favorite human that I met during my experience. And then, so that was my intro to wrestling, and I did train to wrestle because I know a lot of people ask me, like, are you, I haven't taken the pride in that experience that I guess I should have for a couple reasons, but one of them honestly is that while I was wrestling, I was also like 24 at this time. I think I was a lot younger. And I didn't appreciate where I was, the opportunity I had. And Pat Tanaka, who was training me, and I had done a few shows, he asked me, he's like, do you have the passion for this? And I was like, He's like, do you like eat, sleep, and breathe this? And like, well, like you'd fight someone for this? And I'm like, no, I didn't fight no one for this. Like if someone else wants it. And that was when I realized that it wasn't for me as far as being in the ring at that time.
But you did get in the ring.
I did get in the ring.
You did have matches.
Yes, I did.
You actually were
the
champ
MCW
at one point.
champ. Yes, I was the diva champ.
Which somewhere you might still have the actual belt.
I know I do.
The real belt is somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it's in my memory box with my uncle. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. So I did have Johnny. I don't remember if it was the network or if it was Johnny that got it made, but they did get us all like legitimate micro championship belts. And I haven't seen it in years. I'm very confident it's in storage. But my amazing husband over here, what was that, last year for my birthday? You get it?
I think so. I think that's timing of it.
He got me a replica made, which is very cool. And that's upstairs on my little memorabilia shelf.
Yeah, we should have brought that down.
We should have, but...
A little late now.
And then, so that was like the beginning, and I did that for a couple years, and then I left. And then I kind of didn't really mess with wrestling for many years after that.
But even your short time in that, you did gain quite a bit of followers.
I love how he's my cheerleader. I'm like, yeah, it was whatever. But yes, I did.
Yeah. You still have followers to this day that started with you back in MCW and ask you about it if you see people in person, and like you get stuff sent to you to sign of you.
I don't have the name, but someone did send me something, and I literally just found it like in the mail like a week or two ago.
We're not too good about checking our mail all the time.
No. But also it gets put down and it gets,
they get mixed up.
So whoever that was, I do have those pictures, and I will send you that. But yeah, and I guess it's hard for me because I do have so much respect for wrestling because I've seen it. Like, I mean, I've done it. I've taken the bumps. I've done again, it's hard for me to give myself the credit because I know how much more like the guys did, and like people who have that passion. And that's the thing, dude, is like wrestling is the most like you have, especially back then, like not back then, I'm like back then, but like even more back then, but like these guys don't get paid. They're traveling. It's in a fucking van. The AC's broken. You're broken down on the side of the road. You're getting paid. Like
a lot of driving.
A lot of driving. I think we were gonna say a lot of drugs. I was like, yeah, that too.
Well,
but again,
yeah.
But a lot of like, and you're getting paid a couple $100, if that. And it's all about the passion. And that's where I was spoiled that I got to experience such an amazing thing. And like, I did love it at the time, but again, not knowing where I was, who I was with, how fucking cool it was. But these guys, I absolutely have the utmost respect for wrestlers and the industry. And then fast forward down the road where we came together and wrestling literally became part of our story. Again, to the point that we got married in a wrestling ring, which I love.
A
micro wrestling ring. So talk about full fucking circle.
In Las Vegas.
At
the Nerd Bar where I
shout out
worked.
Another Johnny who changed my life. Indeed. Johnny, the owner of the Nerd in downtown Las Vegas.
Only found out about that place because
of wrestling.
There was an AEW pay-per-view on, and I was scrolling through Facebook one day, and it was like advertised that they were doing a viewing party. I'm like, I've never seen a viewing party like for wrestling before. Yeah. And it was at a Nerd Bar. It sounded cool. So we went there, and part of the enticement was, this is like a big time when NFT stuff was kind of popping off, right? I want to say like 2022, and basically if you bought one of his entry, you get like a NFT, Fight Capital NFT to be specific, and you got free drinks the entire time you were there. So that was pretty awesome. And
and Jess was drinking at the time. So yeah. Drew's like, you want to go watch wrestling? I'm like, no. And he's like, you want to go open bar? I was like, let's go, baby.
Sounded pretty good. So we went there and saw that, and then pretty good time, and met the owner. And the reason I actually started working there was because they had a bowling alley in there, and it was a little bit not taken care of very well at the time because Johnny, the owner, does not know anything about bowling, and he needed some help. So, and I grew up in a bowling alley. My family owns a bowling alley in Ohio, and I've been around it my entire life. So I was like, well, you guys need some help. and that's kind of where it started there. And that same place, what is that? 3 years later, we got married in that place in a micro wrestling ring. So
shout out to, oh my gosh,
Micromania.
Yes, Micromania. Carrie and Billy.
Yeah,
Carrie and Billy. They have a residency there at the Nerd, and we went out there for Wrestlemania weekend this past April 420, and we knew we were we had been together for 6 years. We have a son. We knew we were gonna get married. And then we were like, well, let's do it. Like while we were, which is funny because we lived in Vegas for 3 years, but we did it when we went back.
But it really didn't go to plan here. So
no, which honestly, I thought it was like an omen. It scared me.
What?
I don't think I've even told you that.
What?
Because how the chapel was closed.
Oh yeah.
I realize now why, but at that time I was like, Steven Marsalios are not supposed to get married. I was so upset.
We're going to be probably all over the place in this one because like wrestling is so far spread out in different areas of our life, and I'm sure different things are going to bring up different memories. But this one specifically of when we were going to get married, right? We planned like to get married in Vegas during this WrestleMania weekend trip, and there was a little like chapel type thing right across in Indianapolis, across from the Nerd Bar, and it was always open because when I worked there, it's just all the time.
Literally, always.
The one night they were like, it's like our last night there, and we're literally flying out the next morning, and it's closed. And it was already like 10 o'clock at night.
We went and got our marriage license. We were like ready to go.
Earlier that day,
And we're like literally giddy to get married, and we go up the escalator, and we're like, it was dark. Like the
doors closed.
They had like glass windows, so usually you could like see right in. And it was. And that actually really did scare me. I'm not gonna lie. But,
I was like, wow, this is the timing of this is wild. This is just not. And I haven't been there at that point in like almost a year. So who knows what happened in that time, that place being open or scheduled or whatever, right? But still, so our plans for getting married that night kind of went out the window. But what happened was we went to.
No, they didn't go out the window. We improvised.
Well, the original plans.
Yeah.
So we were at the Nerd Bar that day. It was on 420 for Rob Van Dam's 420 party after WrestleMania there. So we were there for that. Rob Van Dam was there. Sabu was there. Rest in peace to Sabu. That's one of his actual original shirts here.
Another one of my favorites.
And so
after the party,
that one got me.
No, I know. We knew we wanted to get married, and we were at the Rob Van Dam's party.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, so we're at Rob Van Dam's party and got to meet him. I had met him actually kind of once before.
I thought we had met him before.
Yeah, but like actually hang out, talk to him, meet him, and he actually signed a ECW, like replica type belt for me, and Sabu did as well, and I have that hanging upstairs. But there was already, so basically this place was full of wrestling fans, and they had the micro wrestling going on, and it was people that we knew were actually there because of Rob Van Dam's party. So like the people being there and the people that we know that worked there, that we're friends with, like everything was like set there already. So our plan was to have us walk over to the chapel if they could, but that was closed. So the next thing is like, okay, that's not working. So what can we do here? And
shout out Upgrade.
Our friend Upgrade had the idea.
He searched the bar.
An ordained minister, like somebody has to know one, has to maybe even hear,
Yep.
He goes up to the DJ at the front of the bar there, and he happens to be an ordained minister.
Oh.
And I think he found him he found this out within like 10 minutes of like having this idea, and then that happened, and they're like, okay, so we'll get an ordained minister. Where are we going to do it at? Well, or inside the wrestling room would be cool. Can we go ask them if they're open to it after their shows are done? They said yes, definitely, let's do it. So we go in there at 2 a.m. Fine, like is what ended up happening.
We had to wait for the DJ to finish his set.
Yeah, and he had been drinking throughout the night, as everybody had, and so when I went and talked to him about this, apparently he'd only done one other wedding.
Yeah.
And I asked him, and his immediate reaction was, "Oh boy," because he could not remember exactly like how it went or what he was supposed to do. Like it had to cut him off guard with that one.
Yeah.
But I knew him slightly from working there in the past, and he's actually like a world-renowned champion at like Street Fighter. Pretty wild.
Wait, I thought he was a video game person.
Yeah, Street Fighter.
Oh.
The video game.
Oh, I thought you meant like he was like fighting in the streets. I was like,
no. The video game Street Fighter, the video game series Street Fighter, like the actual old arcade one.
Gosh, we are not prepared. We should know his name. We should have wrestling.
Gutex.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Shout out. Shout out.
And so that was, and it all worked out.
You know what the coolest part of our wedding was for me? I was sober. I'm so grateful I was sober. I had been sober for, what was that? February, March. 6 months.
And I was actually only maybe had one drink that night because I wanted to be fully in control and like remember everything, and I don't want to. But that also made me more nervous at the same time. I was like, man, I should have had at least one beer.
We should put a little clip of our wedding.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Try
or
to
on the
add that
YouTube.
in.
We'll put it on the YouTube.
That'll work.
Yeah.
And so what happened was everybody had to wait till 2 a.m. So we tell our friends that are there, we tell people in the bar, and we basically 2 a.m. rolls around, and we invite anyone in the bar to just, hey, come take a seat, come be here for this. And it was pretty awesome.
And we did entrance music.
Yeah, we had our own entrances.
I ran out to all the small things.
Yep.
What did you? I don't even remember what you ran out to.
So it was Rob Van Dam's TNA theme, and I was wearing a Rob Van Dam T-shirt at the time. You were as well because of the 420 party. So
I thought I looked good in that shirt.
And there were a few wrestlers there. One that I grew up watching, Brian Kendrick of the Hooligans back in the day with Paul London in WWE. One of the guys that him and Paul London as a tag team I liked the most growing up because like I was a smaller kid, smaller guy, skinnier, and they would do the kind of moves that I thought that'd be badass if I could do that.
No,
I'm like they're not super strong guys. They're not like jacked out there like most guys during the WWE
like
at
Hogan.
the time. Right, a lot of them
huge,
and these guys really I looked up to them a lot, like their outfits, I like their style, and he was there at my
wedding.
Our
wedding.
And a few other ones too. Nick Wayne, the youngest champion, I believe, ever in AEW, and I think he's 19 right now, maybe 20 at this point. He was there.
Maybe.
Yeah, but he's really good. And so he was there, and his friends, I think one other wrestler of his friends was in there as well. And
it was a night to remember.
We had a whole crowd. They were doing
and
chants.
I actually remember it.
You know,
which I love.
Doing tribal chief chants, and
it was a glimpse into our
and
future because to answer also one of the many, many questions I get, like, am I ever going to go back to wrestling? I don't know. I want to get back involved in it somehow.
Joey Janela. I don't know how
Joey
to do that. Our friend Joey was there. Joey Janela.
Shout out Joey. Which actually, Joey was the reason we wanted to watch AEW.
Yes.
With Johnny the first time.
Right. No.
The pay-per-view.
Not the first time.
No?
That was separate. At that point, I don't know if Joey was still in it, but Joey is actually the reason I was really wanted to watch AEW when it first basically became a thing back in, I want to say 2019, because we met him in 2018, and within like 2 months, he was one of the very first like guys that were signed with AEW, and he was like the best or the most well-known indie wrestler at the time. And they signed him, and he did a pay-per-view over in Daytona Beach, Fighter Fest, which was a play on Fyre Fest. So and I went there and watched that, him against Jon Moxley in a very violent match with barbed wire and tacks and chairs and tables and
Joey's
ladders.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah. It was an awesome
in the
time.
best way, but he's fucking nuts.
Yeah. He puts himself through it for sure. He is dedicated.
He's from Jersey too.
Yeah.
He's one of my Jersey homies.
So, and he actually was funny during the wedding. He was recording videos and stuff, and he posted to his story. I saw it like the next day that like this whole thing is fucking crazy. Like it's like a legit like impromptu wedding like just happened. And he said, I'm pretty sure I was there when these two started fucking in 2018. That's what he put on there. Yep.
No.
So yeah, that was wild. And then obviously Johnny being in there, letting us do all that.
That's so crazy that Johnny the nerd and Johnny for me and wrestling and. Wow.
Yeah. So if you're ever in Vegas, the Nerd Bar is a very special place to both of us.
It is, which also the Nerd Bar is where not to like change topics, but on topic, is also where I had my first Tiny Tenders gig.
Yes.
Johnny was the one who gave me a chance, and he believed in me, and we fucking killed it.
Super Bowl.
So I I created a company. This is also a question I get a lot too, so I want to acknowledge it. Is I did create a company. I guess I own a company. I have such bad imposter syndrome of like my successes that it's really hard for me to like just, I guess, confidently. I'm working on it. We're confident these days though. So I own a company, Tiny Tenders, which is Little Women Bartenders. And it started as an idea. Literally, I had the idea in December. I brought it up to Dru and his dad, R.I.P. And well, one of your dads. I don't want Corey to go now.
Yeah, so I have my actual dad, and then I have my stepdad who passed away in 2023. Both of them are my dads on full level. Grew up both of them as
Big Mike.
Both of them were my dads. I have my mom, obviously, and married to my stepdad.
And Big Mike was one of the first people to believe in me. And so I had the idea, and both Dru and his dad were like, do it. And I was like, I don't know. Again, didn't believe in myself. And then Dru was working at the Nerd, and he brought it up to Johnny. And Johnny loved it because it's fucking genius. And then, from that point, it was like, let's do it. And then Super Bowl that year in 2023,
I believe, yeah.
Stop. No, it hasn't. It was 2024.
No, I don't think so.
No, it was last year.
No,
wasn't it?
It's 2 Super Bowls ago.
Oh my gosh.
It was not
wow,
last year.
girl. Wow, girl. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so basically Super Bowl was in Vegas, and it was like, let's do an event, and it was amazing, and it was a huge turnout. Over 200 people showed up to a nerd bar. First Super Bowl in Vegas.
Wait, how many people did you say?
I said over 200.
No, it was almost 300.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
See?
we filled up both sides of the bar, which was not exactly planned for.
Well, of course, because it's little people, and everyone loves little people. But
the Super Bowl was in Vegas.
Yeah, so that was also part of that, and it was an amazing event. And the point of me bringing this up was not only to, again, thank Johnny and the fact that wrestling and the Nerd is such a big part of our story, but also because now I am over 1 year alcohol-free, sober, and people have asked, because Tiny Tenders has not traveled as much. We've done some gigs here and there, but people have asked if my sobriety has something to do with that, and the answer is yes. My sobriety definitely has something to do with that. Just to have an accountability moment is because I know a lot of my new followers and even my old followers, because like Dru was saying, I've had people following me since like 2010, and seen the roller coaster that has been Jess of Jameson and tequila and everything. But
I feel like we should talk about your second TV show too after the wrestling.
Oh yeah,
because you got fans from that as well.
Yes, but yeah. So with my accountability though, is there was a gig when I was drinking, and basically my alcohol did mess it up. It wasn't a proud moment. It wasn't like completely. No, it just wasn't. I'm not even going to justify anything. It was not a proud moment, and it was because of alcohol. And so that definitely scared me. I mean, I got sober, I think, a month later, basically. And that kind of scared the shit out of me because I did realize that basically I was throwing away what I had created because I got drunk. And as always, drunk fuels emotions, and emotions come out poorly, and points are missed and lost, and volumes are raised, and words are said, and it's fucking poison. But so after that, it took me a year literally to do my next gig. The following August was my next gig, and I needed that time to figure out my relationship with alcohol, which obviously I chose to get sober in October, but that's a fucking journey. And yeah, so now here we are a year later of sobriety, and Tiny Tenders is coming back, is my answer for everyone. We are working on some things. I'm I'm not going to go into much more than that, but I just wanted to answer that question that I am coming back because sober Jess is unfucking stoppable. And it is very empowering to know that I will never be in that position again to act a fool like a drunk, crazy lady. So that answers that. And also, I don't know what else, but yeah.
All right.
All right. Which that, I don't know. Like, because it's also like little people are obviously a very big part of my life too, because I'm little. But, and that goes hand in hand with Nerd, which the Nerd has the residency of the micro wrestling there. And Carrie and Billy have a great thing going. They are awesome.
It's Micro Square Garden.
Micro Square Garden.
It's a really, really cool setup in there.
It is. It's very cool. And they also travel and there's all kind of stuff. So again, it's an opportunity for little people. It's an opportunity for wrestling fans, and it's an opportunity for everyone to come together. And yeah, that's what wrestling does. And it is like.
And who knows if Johnny would have been? I mean, you don't know, but like, what if you've been open to having like a residency there had we not had our event there? You know, so.
Yeah,
it's look at what they got going. It's crazy.
I love it.
What sucks though for me personally is it started. I got to see literally a day before we moved out of Vegas. Right, they started the residency there. I got to watch one night of it, and we moved. So I didn't get to I wasn't there when I was actively working there. So I was upset that damn, right now it has to be just now getting here. But it's really, really a good time.
It was crazy though to be hanging out there while you were working and stuff, and just to create such a relationship with Sabu, and oh my gosh, and then his last match.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh, his last match! I literally had tears in my eyes.
Yes.
It was so scary.
Sabu, for those who don't know.
Was it the homicidal, suicidal?
Homicidal, suicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu.
Okay, see, again, me not growing up with wrestling, I did not see these people as the wrestling superstars. I know Dru did, and I'm sure many of our listeners do. I met Sabu literally at the Nerd, and to me, Sabu was a very fragile old man. Well, that's what I was like. He was the sweetest person. Him and I, and it was, so to see him at his age wrestle was like, ah!
So Sabu was a frequent wrestler that came into.
He's very good friends with Johnny.
Yes, came into the Nerd. And before I go more into Sabu for a second, the Nerd Bar is also any wrestlers that go to Vegas, that is a spot. The Nerd Bar is their spot. Rob Van Dam, it's Sabu. Those were the two main ones that would frequent it the most. But when WrestleMania, a lot of wrestlers came in there, and I met quite a few during that weekend, and just in general working there. LA Night, yeah. And pretty crazy place if you're a wrestling fan. Really good time there. But with Sabu, so he had not wrestled in a few years. How
old was he?
So he passed away at 61. They had his birthday wrong when they initially announced. They said he was 60, but he made it to 61 years old and had his final match against our friend Joey Janela.
No, look at Joey. All the full circles. Listen, this is only our second episode, but y'all are gonna learn. Our life is a lot of full circles.
Yeah, that's why it says it might be all over the place in the timing of things. But
okay.
Yeah, so he hadn't had a match in a few years, but it's amazing that he was even able to do that match at that age, because if you guys don't know who Sabu is, so he was one of the main guys of ECW back in the 90s, and he is really a pioneer in the style of using chairs and tables and ladders and barbed wire.
All the stuff that makes you go, ah!
The most violent stuff. Yeah, look up a picture of him, how scarred up his body was and how crazy his matches were and how wild he was at the risks he would take, and just insane, high energy, high flying wrestler. And at 61 years old, he had his final match in GCW against our friend Joey, and he went all in on that one. There was a set of ropes. They had barbed wire. They replaced the ropes with barbed wire, and unfortunately, I don't think it was done too well. I think they kind of ran out of the barbed wire, and it was
very loose.
Yeah, and so what happened was, right at the beginning, Joey, threw him into the barbed wire. I think it was kind of supposed to catch him, and he went right through it, head first into another barbed wire thing of like 2x4s that had a barbed wire laid across the top, and got stuck in it face first, and had to get out of that one. And he gets back in. I mean, I'm sure that's really nothing for him. He's been through a lot
he
worse.
just got right back up.
Got right back up, and then after that, they go wrestling around a little bit. Joey goes to throw him again through a different part of the barbed wire and went straight through it, out of the ring, and cracked his head and got knocked out and was bleeding on the floor right
I forgot
there.
that.
That was within the first.
Forgot that part.
I would say within the first like 8 minutes of the match, those two spots happened, and they kind of had to figure out what to do at that point. And the Sandman ended up making a surprise entrance. Lights go out. Enter Sandman starts playing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody starts going crazy,
dude.
and that was wild the way that happened, and gave Sabu some time to recover. He went in there, and him and Joey put on a hell of a match for.
They did.
For what?
For
those two things that happened
Joey
at first.
Joey was the perfect person, though, to do that for Sabu and do it with Sabu and make sure it was done. I mean, obviously, the barbed wire, Joey didn't have control over that, but as much as he could control, he was the best person for that.
They had to do it quick, and they had to work with what they had. And Sabu actually wasn't supposed to go, or he almost didn't make it down to that match. He couldn't walk. Like, something was happening with his feet. And his feet were like bleeding, like something was happening. He could barely walk, and so that going into it, and then just his age and to do the match that they did and the way they finished it, and
that was even like with the brutalness that they go through. I mean, I don't think it's as bad now, but I mean, wrestling is real.
Depends on which promotion you're looking at.
I know for sure. Yeah. But like wrestling is real, and like even like you said, my dabble in it, and I don't know. This is why I think about it again, is because like I'm in such better shape now, and like it is such a physical thing, and it is so much fun. It really is so much fucking fun to be in the ring and stuff, and like. But, like, even learning how to do the bumps, like, how many times I almost knocked myself out, like, hitting my head on the mat.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the ring is not – it's not a trampoline. It's not soft.
It's plywood.
And it's not – sometimes plywood.
Sometimes.
It's a steel frame with 2x6s. Well, maybe you're a smaller ring, so it's a little different maybe. But
yeah, we had a 12x12 ring.
Right. Most rings, they go from 16 to 18 to 20 on how big they are. I believe WWE uses a 20x20 ring, but it hurts to land. There is, most
I've
rings,
literally
a little bit of
slammed my
padding,
head.
just straight in wood and then steel. Yeah.
What was crazy is when we did the promo photos for the TV show. It was myself and Demo. He was a luchador, and so he had the mask. It was myself, Demo, Brian Knobs, the Nasty Boys, Hogan, and Johnny Attitude. But there was a shot where it was like Hogan laying on the ground tied up, and I was like holding the rope like I had tied him up. And what was crazy is that when Hogan laid down, how freaking long it took him to get back up.
Oh, yeah.
Because of all his surgery, like this is like literally one of the most like.
I thought you were gonna say how far he stretched across the ring.
Well, I mean that too. It's fucking giant, but it was like literally. I don't think we were in the micro ring for the promo though. But no. But I remember because again, I hadn't really I knew, but I didn't at that point. We had already filmed, but I didn't know that like how damaged this body was.
Yeah.
And just from all his back surgeries, like he literally had to get up like one little at a time until he could like finally sit up. And then once he sat up, it was like, okay, now we're gonna get up to our knees, and now we're gonna get up and squat. And it was like, I think that scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my gosh, like.
Well, his finisher was the leg drop. He would just jump up pretty freaking high, and he was tall, and he would just drop down and smack. His spine was getting compressed. All that weight and all that. I mean, he was over 300 pounds, and 6'8", whatever he was, 6'7".
Yeah.
And he lost actually height he was like, I wouldn't say like down to like 6'3" by the time he passed away because of how much height he had lost from surgeries and just his back being compressed and all the discs.
Oh my, all the dicks.
That is not what I'm saying.
No, no.
No.
But all the discs compressing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And all the surgeries, and yeah, it was just doing that one move on top of everything else that he put his body through and the way the ring was built, even more stiff back then because of how big a lot of the guys were and how heavy a lot of the guys were back then. It's a little more forgiving maybe now than it was, but yeah, just from doing that over and over and over all those years, really messed him up. And then his knees, I believe one of his legs was like atrophied at one point too, kind of.
What does that mean?
Like the muscles were no longer able to move and do the things they're supposed to do. So like, and you can't really build the muscle. The blood flow gets all messed up, and I think that had to do with like the back surgeries and just all the different things. Like he's messed up the nerves and everything in his leg.
Oh my gosh!
And lived with that for I don't know how long exactly, but I remember reading about that. Was one of the things I wasn't aware of. When
people are like wrestling's fake, and that's why I get mad because I'm like, no, I've seen like literally
the
a deteriorated body,
predetermined. Everything else in between, they have to put on a show, and they are going to put their bodies through it. And I will say,
like for me, when I didn't I obviously was new, and I was going to say a noob, but yeah, like I was, and I didn't know, and whatever. And the girls that I wrestled, Pat Tanaka, he would like those matches. Those were from A to Z. They were planned. It was It was like I used to say it was like a cheerleading routine. Like it was like you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. However, even the guys, though, the micro guys, they were not. They did the same thing as the pros, where it was literally like, okay, you're going to go over, which means you win. And then it's basically, this is how we're going to.
Babyface and heels.
Yeah, babyface and heels. But then it'll be like maybe 2 spots that they'll like specifically say. But again, even that, they don't even know when they're going to do it. So when they're in the ring, they're just going. And they're like going from one thing to the next, and they'll talk to each other and be like, whatever. But not even the pros. I don't even think the pros talk. I think they all just kind of follow each other. And
some don't need to. That was something that I think Hogan and I think The Rock kind of just did because, like, what they had at WrestleMania. I want to say WrestleMania 18, I think it was. I believe I saw different videos of them talking about how they'd really never wrestled each other before, but because they're both just such professionals, and if you get to like that level, you don't really need to talk.
Yeah,
they just
for sure
can flow and know what they're doing.
It's like once you have your arm in a certain place, if you know what you're doing, you know like what just flows next, and that's again a skill. It's an art. It's a profession. It's a sport. It's knowing what you're doing. The funny thing, though, I will say, is with the girls. Specifically, me and Katie, or Trixie. She was one of the other micro. Trixie and Starla Dominatrix. Trixie Dynamite, Starla Dominatrix, and Jersey Jess. That's where Jersey Jess originated, was micro wrestling. They were like, you need a wrestling name. I'm like, I have no fucking idea. I don't remember if they came up with it or I did. But anyway, it was, there was quite a few times it would be funny that we would forget, like the girls, we would forget our moves in the match.
Yeah.
So Pat would be the ref, and he would be like, pin her, like whatever the fucking
or you
move
gotta kick out.
He's like, or like, oh my gosh, Katie was the worst because she would get, like the anxiety, the stage fright of it, and like again, we don't know what we're doing. We're doing the best we can. Or we're trying to know what we're doing, but we both don't have the passion either. So that's definitely, like we already said, was the big thing. But it would be like just a frazzled, like go to the ropes, and then like I'd be like going off the ropes, and then like Katie wouldn't be there where she was supposed to be. So then like I would have to just run into the ropes again on the other side, which by the way, those fucking ropes hurt. They hurt your ribs so bad. My back.
Even if you hit them the right way.
Yeah,
they still hurt.
I know. As I'm saying, is they're tight, they're thick, they're like literally wide. It's but it would be like, I remember specifically a casino show, because we did like casinos, we did big crowds. And I remember specifically a casino show where I like ran and like she wasn't there, and so I like went into the ropes, and then I turned around and I like went full speed because I was like, okay, she'll be there now, like she knows, whatever. And like I turned and she was not there, and I just like ran back into the rope. And as I was running, Pat was like, go through the ropes, and I was like, what? And he's like, go through the ropes. So I literally just like ran and like flew out the ropes, and then I'm like out on it. I'm like, now what? And he's just trying to get Katie like back on track because she was all frazzled. And yeah, I'm really curious. If anyone witnessed any of my matches, please critique me. Please just tell me what you thought, because I love it.
Also, if you have any footage.
Any footage.
Because I can't find
it.
the
episodes.
Any of the episodes, the first season, the only
I wonder
season.
if Daryl has access to it.
Really?
My executive producer. I wonder.
Wait, is he the one we met at the Nerd?
No, Daryl's the one. Daryl's the one I've just recently been talking to.
Yeah, but who did we meet at the Nerd though that worked on the show at the time? Remember, he actually said I forgot about this. He said he had like boxes full of stuff from the show.
Oh, I don't
and like
remember.
DVDs and everything. I can't remember
Oh my gosh, I can't either.
I can picture him. I didn't know him.
I know.
But
I can actually picture his face too.
But if anybody has the DVDs or could send us or videos or anything they have of that time, pictures, like I would love to see that because
I know. I don't know if I would. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember what I look like.
I've seen a few pictures on the internet there.
I fucking wrestled in corsets. Okay, do you know what that? No, you don't
know.
No
movement.
No,
I feel
there's
like
literally no. And then your tots are up here, and then you're like flying, and then you're like trying to keep them in, and then oh my gosh, yeah, I remember that. And then the promo pictures, I was wearing heels. Why? I don't know. The funniest part,
the outfit.
The funniest part about all of that, to go back to the reality show, is because I know also people wonder about reality shows. So like the thing with reality shows is what I've always said is that it's like encouraged reality on steroids. So it's like it's not scripted. I mean the confessionals or whatever, the talk to the cameras, those are sometimes scripted, but like the what you're doing isn't. But there is a producer on the side being like, you know, whatever, encouraging you. But the real quick before that. But so for me, again, I had no wrestling experience. Not just no wrestling experience. I had no wrestling knowledge. I had never watched wrestling. I had never like played a video game. I had never seen a wrestling action figure. Like my brothers weren't into wrestling. Like there was no history for me.
Complete opposite of how I grew up.
Yeah.
I had all that.
Then, so I get offered, so they offered me the show. Demo was like, hey, and I was like, no. And then I didn't get in touch with them at all. And then like 2 weeks later, the network was like hounding me, and they were like, come on, do it. So by the time I said yes, they had already filmed. They had already started filming, and they had basically filmed the first episode because each episode was like a different location of a big show. And the first one was actually in Tampa at the Dallas Bowl. And that was the one I missed. So then the second one, by the time I agreed, they were in Panama City for spring break. And I went, I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. The day I said, okay, fine, I'll do it, I was on a plane 2 days later, flying to Panama City, wasn't allowed to tell anyone. No one on the cast knew I was coming. No one even Demo, who had originally asked me, and I said no. I'm pretty positive he didn't know. I don't even know if Johnny knew. But no one knew I was coming. So literally, I'm like 23 years old, getting on a plane. I get off the plane. They pick me up. They bring me to a hotel. They tell me I'm not allowed to leave the room. I don't know why the fuck they put me in the same hotel as these people. They could have put me somewhere else. But they're like, you can't leave the room until tomorrow.
What the hell?
So then I was locked in a hotel room. Then it's so funny because I would have been snapping the whole thing if it was like now. But at that time it wasn't. But so I was locked in a hotel room. Again, no idea what I'm doing. The next day, production takes me in a van. They bring me to Club La Vila, which is, at the time, like, the spring break spot. So it's, like, fucking slammed. Like, I'm talking thousands of people. And bring me there. Oh, also tell me to dress, like, for a wrestling match. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to wear. I don't remember what I wore. I remember my titties were out, though, whatever it fucking was. And then So they bring me to Club La Vila. They hide me still. Then the show's going on. And I am like hidden over here watching it from the side. Then they literally are telling me, you're going to interrupt the match. I'm like, what?
That is a wild way to go about that, not telling the other wrestlers.
You know what? I was saying how I have imposter syndrome and I don't give myself credit. I'm going to give myself some fucking credit because this is insane.
Yeah.
I literally did. So I swear to God, they were like, you need to go out there. Again, no knowledge. I've never seen a match interrupted. I've never seen like anything. They're like, you need to go out there and interrupt the match. And basically, I can't remember the conversation, but I do remember I walked out and it was like, this is like a dream. Now I would, eat this up, but then it was terrifying. But it was like the whole fucking walkway, like the runway, like in a fucking thing, like crowd of fucking stadium of people, fucking big ass ring in the middle, fucking Hogan and whoever else on a stage, like, because they would always call the matches or whatever. And then I come out. So now thousands of people, this wasn't this Jess, okay? This was drunk, insecure 23-year-old Jess. Okay, thousands of people are looking at me. There's a camera in my face. Never done that before. There's multiple cameras in my face actually following me from back here. I come out and they're like, you need to interrupt the match. And basically, I don't remember, but it was like, start something with the girls.
Well, and you're taller than them.
And I'm taller than them.
So you're already coming in there like.
Yeah, and I have titties. So it's
and
all
they don't know
kinds
you.
of. No.
This is insane.
Demo knew me because of the bar.
Right,
but he didn't know me before that. And then Katie had seen me from like little people stuff, but we never interacted. So like, no. Yeah. And I didn't know anyone. I didn't know a single one. So then I come out and I don't remember, but I like yelled and I was like, what do you think you're fucking doing? Or something. And then they started yelling at me and I was like, what? Like, oh my God, I would love to see my face because I remember.
So wait, this is on the episode?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember the editing, but this is what happened.
But this is the first. Okay.
So then they literally, the girls were like, "What the fuck?" And then they started yelling at me, and then they like chased me. I think backstage, like that was the thing. Is I basically came out, made my appearance. Maybe I pulled Starla's hair. I can't remember. Boy. It was so fucking overwhelming, though. And then I remember, this was the craziest part to me, though, because, again, no experience. I go back, like backstage, where we all were, the green room, whatever, and the cameras are still going, and everyone's yelling. They're like, who the fuck is she? And blah, blah, blah. What the fuck? And this. And I'm just like, and the guys are yelling and everyone's fucking drama. And I'm just standing on the side like, oh my God, I caused all this? Like, what is happening? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, the fucking cameras go off. And they all go, hey, what's up? I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hi. Like, I'm Jess. And it was like mind fucking to me because they literally were just like screaming at me. So that was like, yes.
Working for the camera and you had no idea.
I had no idea. I was like, oh my God.
What did I do?
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, these people are so mean. And then it ended up, But oh my gosh, I'm so brave. I am so brave. I want to cry. So brave. Look at me. But yeah, it was insane. And then I traveled with them we only did, I think, 6 episodes. I did 5 or maybe, I think I did 5 and they did 6. And then we traveled and then it was a lot of, pinning the girls against each other as always. But
yeah, you gotta have drama. You gotta
I
have story.
know. I'm not good at that. But yeah, but the guys were, Katie was cool. Starla was cool. We're all still cool. And, the guys were all cool and whatever. But that was my first. That's crazy. Because then I did what Dru was talking about is I did do another reality show in 2015.
I think it came out in 2016, but I think you filmed it in 2015.
Which was Lifetime, Little Women New York, season 2, which the best way for me to describe it, I've always said, is like Housewives, but little and not rich. But they flew me out. They got me an apartment in Manhattan, right by Trump Tower, which I say that because, like, just so you know the centralness of, like, where my apartment was. This apartment was, like, $8,000 a month. That it was a dream and insane. And, well, the first one was. And then I moved to Brooklyn halfway through filming because my water was turned off or something. There was something wrong with the building. And so production moved me to Brooklyn. But what's funny with that is Cheech, Again, the OG followers, if you've been following, you know my Jack Russell mix, Chi-Chi, a.k.a. Cheech. I actually adopted her. She's going to be 14 next month, or in December.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
It really is.
I know.
Well, because you were trying to say that she's like a year younger.
I know.
But she's definitely 13.
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, she turned 13 last year.
Yeah, maybe not.
Man.
I don't know. 13 or 14 in
Still
December.
going.
She is. I got her when she was 3. But I adopted her while I was living in New York filming. And I did all the right things. And Bonnie from the Humane Society can vouch for me that I did all the right things. I checked with production. I checked with my building. I checked, like, the Humane Society had to approve that I could do this and everything. I did all the right things. But then when it was time to move, they needed a storyline on why I was moving. So they fucking said I got evicted.
Oh, damn.
Because I didn't check with the building, and I basically Cheech got me evicted.
Ooh.
And I want to clear Cheech's name and my name that we did not get evicted.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Their fucking pipes burst, or I don't remember what it was, but I remember being so offended. I was like, no, that's not the story. Like, that makes me look bad.
Terrible story choice.
Terrible story choice.
Man.
But I was also the hot mess drunk. So they were like, nah, it fits. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I did that. I did season 2 of Little Women New York, and yeah, that was myself. Shout out Jazz, one of my favorite humans. But that was another situation where there was a bunch of drama, and again, the cameras were on. I had learned obviously how reality TV works and the difference between cameras and no cameras and the exaggeration, but for anyone answering or wants to know about that, yes, the drama there was real to an extent. Again, it was exaggerated to the point that I didn't care and I didn't want to fight because I'm not that person. But literally, a producer pulled me aside and they were like, so and so said this about you and blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, cool, fuck her. Like, I don't like her anyway, so whatever. And they were like, no, but like then she said this, and I'm like, okay, so double fuck her. Like, still don't care. And they're like, okay, Jess, I'm gonna need you to care. I'm gonna need you to react. I'm gonna need. That's literally why we're here. And I was like, oh, that's why we're here. He's like, yeah. So shout out Byron. But yeah, so then they basically forced me to be dramatic, and I guess in a way it was freeing a little bit because it's kind of like no holds bars where you're just like, fuck it, like, I don't like you, I'm gonna tell you I don't like you, which I normally wouldn't do. But also, though, honestly, before anyone asks, I really don't have any negative or ill will feelings towards anyone on that show, or I just don't have ill will feelings towards anyone, period. But there are obviously little people I don't always agree with, but yeah. But now I'm sober. So in that show, alcohol was a big part of my identity. And I will apologize to Lila because I did not take her sobriety seriously, which was also production. But I did not take her sobriety seriously. And because I was a fucking drunk. And I was there you go.
Whoa. You all right there?
It's my emotions of, But yeah,
choking you up there a little bit, huh?
It is, but yeah. So it was crazy though. There was one crazy scene where Tara, she was actually an executive producer. She threw a beer bottle. I'm pretty sure it was her or it was Lila. One of them threw a beer bottle, and it fucking stuck in the wall. Like, the bottle went in. It was obviously like a plaster wall, but like the mouth of the bottle, the neck of the bottle went in the wall, and it was like and it was like a beer bottle hanging out of the wall. It was crazy. I was like,
was it directed at you?
No,
I
actually was not a part of that drama. However, I was hoishly dressed, which was again production. It was a pajama party, and everyone else is wearing fucking pajamas.
Yeah, I've seen this clip.
Yeah, and I come in wearing Victoria's Secret lingerie with a silk robe and 5-inch hot pink heels.
Makes you even taller.
Makes me even taller. I'm already 6 inches taller than the average little person, but yeah, now I'm 10 inches taller than all of them. And
yeah, the look on everybody's faces in that clip is like,
Again, they didn't know I was coming. They didn't.
Really?
No.
Oh, so
only Jazz knew because they introduced me, which she didn't even know until last minute.
Yeah.
But what we basically met outside the building and was like, "Hey, she's your friend. You're gonna introduce her to everyone." And that was the first time me and Jazz met. And she walked in and she's like, "This is my hoe friend, Jess." No, she didn't say that. She would never say that. She's an angel.
No, but everybody else was thinking it.
Yeah, but
you
yeah,
can tell in their faces
absolutely,
that,
yeah, they're all like, "What?" Well, also though, no, everyone in that room knew who I was before I walked in. That was the difference. MCW, I didn't know any of them. It was all dudes. But Little Women New York, they knew of me.
Yeah.
They knew.
They didn't like the wrestling background.
They didn't like the wrestling background. They didn't like the drinking background. They didn't like the tatas. They didn't like the arrogance, the ignorance. I wasn't the most lovable person back then. I mean, I've always been me, and I've always never wanted to hurt anyone. But I also used to be a lot more
aggressive with your attitude.
Well, and I would also use the M word all the time, which is not appropriate. Which, if those of you that don't know, the M word is the one that rhymes with Gidget, Bridget. And at the time I used it quite frequently because in wrestling they did use it as a promotion word. And I mean, I still don't have a problem with it. It doesn't affect me. It's a stupid word, but the little people community as a whole does not appreciate the word. They prefer to be called little people. I still feel like we could find something better than little people. But, so I was not, which now where I'm at with like my tiny tenders and my plans for the future is I don't support the use of it because it's a community of people and it makes them uncomfortable and it makes them feel a certain way. So as a little person, I should have respected that. And I shouldn't have been so blatantly douchey about it because that was definitely me. I wasn't just using the word, I was using it also in a very what's the word? Not having a fit, but like rebellious. I was using it in a very rebellious way because I knew it pissed people off. So to my little people community, I do apologize for Hot Mess Jess. There's a long list of people I've been apologizing to in my amends, and the little people community, you are one of them. And now I am on your side. And that is actually part of why we're here, not necessarily specifically in these seats, but why I am back on camera and why I am getting myself back out there is because I do want to represent little people now with pride and empowerment. And that is my goal behind Tiny Tenders, is to empower little women and all the other stuff I have planned, which I'm really excited about because little people are fucking cool. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, reality shows and then wrestling. I don't know what else. Now I'm getting off. But I'm not, because little people are important. I don't know. I'm trying not to get preachy, but also I want to take the opportunity to because our first episode had a very good turnout, especially for like a first YouTube, a first video, a first episode. It had a very good turnout. So I do want to take this opportunity while I have your ear holes, is that like little people are people. Little people deserve to be respected. I know I'm fucking cool. You know I'm fucking cool. Like, there's thousands of more other little people that are just as fucking cool. You just got to give them a chance and not make them feel uncomfortable and not make them feel like a prop and not make them feel like a token little person. And if you get your head out of your ass and pay attention to them, you'll see that too. So that's really why I'm here, besides sitting next to my husband and changing the world. But it's time for the world to respect little people. Because also, like, micro wrestling, like, with that, like, there is the flip side where little people actually judged micro wrestling because of, I guess, the use of the M word or whatever. But to me, that is not fair either, because those micro wrestlers are working their ass off, dude. They're working their ass off, especially the ones in Vegas. They have like multiple shows a week.
Multiple shows a day.
Like, oh my gosh.
They work their ass off, and they're
traveling, and
a lot of them have their their own movesets and different styles that they do, and they're all individually that way. Some are taller, some are shorter, but it's a lot. It's not easy, and they are talented, and they do that.
And little people already have a lot of like health things. I mean, not every one of them, obviously, but being a little person does come with health. Why can't I think of words? Health issues. I don't know, and so they're really putting themselves out there and on the line when they're getting thrown and jumping and flying, and I don't know. You should check it out though if you haven't checked out. And if you do go to a micro wrestling, whoever the company is, because I know there is multiple, and I support all of you. Okay, I want that to be known.
Oh, there's the leaf blower guy.
Oh, there's the leaf blower guy.
I'll get loud for a second. We're going to try to not have
that. Can they hear it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know.
But yeah, that's the other thing though, is if you do go to micro wrestling shows, which you should, but go to support them. Go to support the athletes. There you go. That's a word. Go to support the athletes, because it is a lot of athleticism in that. And they are just trying to have a good time and trying to bring entertainment. And yeah, I don't know. There's that. But
well, I'd say with the leaf blower guy going to be coming through here outside, probably a good time to end it.
We're ending it?
I think so. I think we're at right past an hour, I believe.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. All right. Yeah. Well, the universe be universing then. I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more again about us. There's
probably a lot of things we forgot to even talk about in this one. Might get brought up in the next one.
I don't think so. I think it was great. I think that's the beauty of this, baby. We're going to be back every week telling you a little more. And I think it's important that to start, you guys get to know us. And because this is going to be going for a long time, and we're going to be top 10 within 2 years. Absolutely. I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys don't know this yet, but I am the queen of manifesting, and maybe I'll teach you about that next week, because now I finally have Dru on board with the reality of speaking it into existence. And I am speaking this top 10 podcast into existence, which is only possible thanks to you guys and the almost over 2,000 views our first episode has already gotten.
Keep the comments coming too. If you guys want to, don't be afraid to say anything in the comments and ask questions that we can then maybe answer on the next one. Like if you got questions for us, send them in.
Yeah, so, please hit us up. We're gonna make a fill in the blanks TikTok here so we can start posting the clips. So it's just a good time, and I don't know. I'm excited. I had fun today. I was happy to share our stories some more. And check out, if you can find my reality shows, please send me clips, because actually even Little Women New York, I got really excited because I thought it was on Amazon Prime, but they only had season 1. So I can't even find that.
It's on YouTube, I believe. You can buy the season on YouTube.
Oh,
I bought one of the episodes before.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
It was there.
If anyone can find the Hogan episodes, though. MCW. Hulk Hogan's Micro Championship Wrestling on TruTV. I think it was in 2011 or 2012. Yeah. But if you can find that, I would be forever grateful. So
I will be more grateful, because I need to see this stuff here.
Oh, my gosh. I look so different. Oh, what a baby. All right. Yeah. Well, so tune in next week, next Thursday. We're actually going to be consistent with this every Thursday. Fill in the blanks with Dru and Jess.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah. Hopefully this all sounds good and looks good with the new camera.
I know. We're so fancy.
We're going to find out after it. We post it.
It looks beautiful. We're beautiful. You're beautiful. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. We know you don't have to listen to us, but we absolutely appreciate that you do. And we shall return next week. That it?
I think that's it. Last thing I want to say is, I didn't really get fully into it here, is for sure, rest in peace to Sabu.
Rest in peace, Sabu. And Johnny Green and Hogan. And anyone else?
A lot of other ones. Lost along the way. But Sabu was a special one to me growing up. And
very scary looking guy, but one of the nicest human beings you could ever meet. And just wanted to make sure that is known in there. And if you have not looked him up, please look him up and look at his matches and the legacy that he left behind and why wrestling.
Let's talk about a trigger warning. Watch out those matches.
Oh yeah, yeah,
dangerous.
Violent matches, but yeah. So that last thing, rest in peace to Sabu, and yeah, I think that's it.
All right, adios, amigos.
All right,
peace out.
we are out. I got to stand up here and where's that at? And